all the kind words and encouragement regarding the content of this channel. Some of you have asked how I make my videos, what tools I use, and what my process looks like. So I thought I'd put together a quick rundown to walk you through how things work on my end. I begin by identifying and understanding the needs within the player community. Division 2 is a complex game, and navigating growth isn't easy. My process differs significantly from typical build videos. I'm not just making one-off builds, I'm creating a series that breaks down the game's systems. The system itself isn't straightforward, so I put in extra effort to simplify concepts and communicate them clearly, ensuring players can grasp them without struggle. My goal is to make technical topics clear and digestible, serving as a guide to help you achieve better success in Division 2. I always start by asking, what problem am I solving? What do people need to know? How will this knowledge improve their gameplay and help them and their teams become next level? Next, I dive into research, where I learn from and consult with experts and friends. Some have wondered if I use AI for my content. While AI can offer feedback on scripts like tone, friendliness, or structure, it often gets facts wrong about Division 2, pulling from player comments or posts online that aren't always accurate. I don't want to spread misinformation, so I rely on conversations with real people, game veterans who've spent countless hours studying damage numbers and gameplay mechanics frame by frame. I'm lucky to know a few experts far more experienced than I am, and I lean on them to verify my information. Then comes writing and rewriting the script. I use Grammarly to polish my writing and ensure good grammar and clarity. However, I speak informally in my videos, and Grammarly overcorrects me, so I mostly use it as a word processor for punctuation and spelling, and ignore most of its recommendations. More importantly, it's about getting the story and facts right in a fundamentally helpful way. To get there, I'll write and rewrite, sometimes a dozen or more times. What feels right in my head doesn't always sound right when I read it aloud. Does it make sense? I'll check with a friend or two to make sure I'm on the right track, which often brings better clarity. It's a painful process at times, but I want to be precise and deliver truly educational content. Once the script's ready, I move to recording. I use text-to-speech like ChatGPT to keep things consistent. At the rate at which I rewrite my script, there's no way I can use my own voice efficiently. I often work on these videos well past midnight. If I record my own voice late at night, frustration or tiredness can creep in, and I don't want that in the final product. With text-to-speech, I can re-record a single sentence without worrying about mismatched volume or mic placement, as mics are sensitive and can make inconsistencies very obvious. Again, a pulse check. Does it make sense? As I listen to the playback in another voice, I often catch wording that doesn't sound conversational, so I'll rewrite a line, paragraph, or even a whole section and re-record it until it's clear. A major advantage of this approach is that it provides accurate captions for fellow players who need the accessibility of being able to read video content. I don't want any of our fellow agents with hearing loss to feel left out. That's really important to me. If I'm lucky and the script is making sense so far, it's time to capture game footage and begin editing. For this task, I use an Elgato 4K-X with my Mac Studio M2 Ultra. Getting the Elgato to record true 4K wasn't simple. It kept defaulting to 1080p, and I had no idea it was doing that. I had to troubleshoot with firmware updates, Elgato support, and Reddit community tips. I even had to access a hidden menu. It's still not perfect, but I've got workarounds. My advice: know what you're getting into before buying capture gear. Next comes editing. I use Camtasia for Mac. There's a PC version as well. Camtasia is amazingly simple to use. Maybe it's not as powerful as DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Premiere, or Final Cut Pro, but the easy workflow is really hard to beat. However, I've found that Camtasia can be unstable on my Mac, even though I have a tremendous amount of memory and processor cores. It can be sluggish, and it crashes on me quite frequently. Anyways, I aim to ensure the voice and visuals work well together. Once again, does it make sense? Unfortunately, sometimes the voiceover and visuals clash. If they don't make sense, it's back to the drawing board. I'd love to get everything right in one take, but that's simply not the nature of the beast. Now comes the customizations. For graphics like HUDs, I don't use AI. It can't replicate Division 2's unique style, like the Isaac data wheel. Stock video and photography sites have HUDs, but they don't have what I need either. So I manually create visuals to match the game's aesthetic. Sometimes a step-by-step animation is needed to make something clearer. If I throw a lot of detail up on the screen, it can cause both information and sensory overload. A custom animation can take days or even weeks, but it's about delivering accurate, clear content that's easy to understand. Does it make sense? If I'm fortunate enough to make it this far and the semi-final product makes sense, I can finally upload the video and voiceover script to YouTube and hope it helps a fellow player. I hope this sheds light on how I do things and inspires you in some small way. Let me know what ideas and projects you've been thinking of starting. I'll look out for your posts in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Peace out, stay strong, and stay dangerous.